Swadika, thank you for joining us on Newsline. We are broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and on NBT World. It's Friday, October the 16th, and you're with me, Tra Thirakalsan. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha has called for a joint meeting between the country's 5 major reform bodies to discuss cooperation and the country's strategic goals. According to Deputy Prime Minister Wisanu Khruangam, the Prime Minister has urged that all 5 bodies, which include the National Council for Peace and Order, the Cabinet, the National Legislative Assembly, the Constitution Drafting Committee, and the National Reform Steering Committee, or NRSC, to meet for the first time after the establishment of the new CDC and NRSC. This is to discuss ways to coordinate in carrying out various national agendas and serve as an opportunity to answer potential questions and concerns. It is aimed to allow all members of the 5 rivers, numbering around 780, to draw up their operational plans together and determine how to move the country forward. Mr. Wisnu said the session might be broadcast live for public viewing on television, while the meeting venue could be the Parliament building. The presidents of the NLA and the NRSA might be assigned to jointly preside at the event. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of Thailand has offered a warm welcome to the newly appointed U.S. ambassador to Thailand, who paid him a courtesy call at the ministry's compound. Thai Foreign Minister Don Paramat Vinay was visited by His Excellency Blind T. Davis, ambassador of the U.S. to the Kingdom of Thailand, on the occasion of the latter's assumption of his new post. His Excellency took the opportunity to introduce himself to the minister and to discuss several issues of bilateral cooperation between the 2 countries, ranging from politics and security to economics, trade, and investment. According to the foreign minister, this meeting was in accordance with the usual custom, in which foreign ambassadors report themselves to the government after they come into office. He said since the U.S. has been a major ally of Thailand, all general topics were touched during the talks.
But you know that from the standpoint of the United States, this relationship between the United States of America and the Kingdom of Thailand is a vital one. It's important. It means a great deal to us. It has its roots, as I've said before, going back 9 generations to early in the 19th century. And though the nature of our relationship has changed, as the world has changed, as Thailand has grown in strength, importance, prosperity, the essentials of the relationship remain very much the same, which is that we are allies, we are friends, we work together on everything from global health issues, the eradication of diseases, our security relationship, our law enforcement relationship, working together on problems that deal with the environment, people-to-people ties. Thousands of students go back and forth between our countries every year, and so on and so forth. And it is from these many, many areas that we, I think, have such a strong relationship today and such a large agenda of issues to work on that benefit Thailand and benefit the United States. And these are the types of issues that we spoke about here today.
The American ambassador is a senior U.S. diplomat with over 35 years of experience. He was nominated for the post of ambassador to Thailand by U.S. President Barack Obama in April this year, before being endorsed by the Senate in August. He was sworn in and officially assumed the post in September. Minister of Social Development and Human Security, Police General Adun Sangsingkeo, has expressed concerns over the vulnerable groups of people who have been affected by flooding in many areas. The minister presided over a meeting of the ministry's Operations Center on Social Problems and Solutions. Police General Adun said he had instructed provincial units under the ministry in the flood-affected areas to urgently help vulnerable groups, including children, women, senior people, the disabled, and the less fortunate. The minister added that he had also instructed the Department of Children and Youth to follow up on the case of an American couple battling for the custody of their daughter who was born with a Thai surrogate mother. The National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, has approved the first draft of the bill on international cooperation on criminal prosecution. Minister of Justice General Phaiboon Khumchaya has addressed the Assembly on the necessity of the bill, saying that existing laws regarding international cooperation on criminal cases do not correlate with current international procedures, making it difficult for agents operating abroad to ask for additional assistance or evidence to further overseas investigations. Current laws also make it difficult for authorities to seize assets held abroad by criminals, transfer detained suspects, or demand financial compensation in lieu of seizing assets. According to General Phaiboon, the new law would update the country's laws to correlate with international laws and enhance overseas cooperation, adding that the Ministry of Justice will take into consideration all input from the NLA to better enforce the law once it is officially passed. The NLA passed the first draft of the bill with 177 votes in favor, none against, and 3 abstentions. The bill will undergo committee review for 60 days, with an additional 15 days for the committee to make revisions. Members of the legislature are scheduled to meet residents of the Northeast at the end of October to learn more about their problems. Spokesman of the Constitution Drafting Committee, Norachit Singh Haseni, said that the Charter Drafters meeting has invited executives from the EC to discuss their suggestions. Mr. Norachit said that the EC raised a number of issues for the CDC to consider while drafting the new Constitution. One of the issues was the empowerment of the EC to change the election date and to manage and transfer any officials or civil servants and take disciplinary action against them. The EC also talked about the vote counting process, which it suggested the help of electronic equipment, and asked that it should have power to issue red cards against any election candidates who are found to be involved with any irregularities before the Commission makes an official announcement of the poll results. After the meeting, Mr. Norachit said that the CDC has agreed to include the EC suggestions into its charter drafting process. The Minister of Public Health has urged public health practitioners and hospitals across the country to provide lifelong care to the public while maintaining honesty and strong work ethics. New Public Health Minister Piyasakul Sathyaporn made the call while delivering his policy statement at a conference attended by public health care practitioners and directors of various public hospitals from all over the country. He said the ministry in the fiscal 2016 year would pursue its policy to promote development, cooperation, and well-being of the public, as well as work happiness of health practitioners. To achieve that goal, the ministry has drawn up 8 measures to be implemented, such as giving freedom in healthcare management to each locality, providing professional services with good governance, focusing on prevention of various ailments rather than waiting to cure diseases, providing lifelong healthcare services, and promoting the use of local wisdom and traditional medicine. Dr. Piyasakul said the ministry will conduct an evaluation of the measures after 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year of implementation, while stressing the importance of honesty, cooperation, responsibility, and transparency in the workplace. The Minister of Commerce has received confirmation from many operators that they will reduce the prices of their products to help lower the cost of living for people. Manufacturers were previously requested by the Commerce Ministry to consider decreasing the prices of their consumer products so as to accurately reflect the true operating cost after a steady decline in oil prices. The adjustment of the pricing structure is aimed to ensure fairness for consumers and slash their living expenses. As a result, Commerce Minister Apiradi Tangrapan made known that 23 operators have so far agreed to the request, saying that they will bring down the prices of 244 items altogether. Some of such items are 100% jasmine rice, soybean oil, fish sauce, and cup noodles. The Ministry of Commerce is also reaching out to consumers with its newly launched mobile application called Lai Tang Kong Tu. The app, now available for free downloading, helps users identify places where they can find affordable products. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or BMA, has announced that the capital is one of 32 cities chosen so far to be part of the Rockefeller Foundation's 100 Resilient Cities Centennial Challenge. In commemoration of the Rockefeller's Foundation centennial anniversary, it has issued a challenge for 100 cities to build resilience to social, economic, and physical challenges. The foundation will grant select cities the incentives and support to hire related staff, develop city-specific strategies for resilience, and share information with other participating cities. To this end, Governor Mom Ratchawong Sukumpahan Baripat announced Bangkok's new resilience project, headed up by his advisor, Supachai Tantikom. Mr. Supachai revealed that an agenda-setting workshop was organized on September 16th of 2014, with more than 200 stakeholders representing the public and private sectors, nonprofit organizations, and educational institutes. The workshop gave stakeholders a chance to voice their suggestions on building resilience in Bangkok and define stress categories, namely acute stress and chronic stress. Acute stress describes a sudden unexpected problems such as natural disasters, and chronic stress describes ongoing issues such as political unrest. The project has the potential to improve the BMA's capacity to adapt and recover from stressors that range from flooding to traffic congestion. As the Lunar Vegetarian Festival enters its third day, the prices of vegan meals continue to climb while the Ministry of Public Health orders food safety inspections. Thais of Chinese descent continue to observe the festival's religious practices and buy vegan meals despite price hikes in food raw materials. A local participant said that the high prices have hurt consumer spending and forced some to eat at almshouses to save money. One such almshouse outside Yarra district of Bangkok has been offering vegan meals for free. Meanwhile, the Provincial Public Health Office in Surat Thani has ordered frequent inspections of vegan cafeterias to ensure proper venue sanitation and public hygiene. Privy Council President General Prem Tinasulanont has inaugurated the 26th Southern Unity Youth Project, stressing the importance of gratitude and the protection of the country's sovereignty. This year's youth project featured 241 students of Muslim faith from 5 provinces in the south who will be visiting foster families in 10 provinces in the central region. General Prem called for the students to carry out their duties as Thai citizens by giving back to the country for the sake of stability and progress, and to create a sense of national unity in order to foster peace. And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Before we take a quick break, let's take a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The 4th core value: seeking direct and indirect knowledge and education.
don't see them. They are amongst us. And they're hungry. Slay your power-sucking monsters. Take their power away. Think when you plug.
ASEAN Political and Security Community. Prevent being deceived. Prevent being forced. Prevent being injured. The problem of human trafficking in children, women, and labor has been increasingly severe. Thailand and the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights are working together to get rid of these problems in order to be fully accepted by the international community. One vision, one identity, one community.
Multiple perspectives, insightful commentary on Thailand with The Insider every Sunday morning at 10:30 on NBT and NBT World.
Welcome to ASEAN, a community comprised of 10 countries, each with its unique culture and history, now unifying to bring added prosperity to the region. For centuries, each country remained independent. But now we are coming together to compete in the 21st century globalized world. ASEAN is bringing together more than 600 million citizens and a total land area of 4.4 million square kilometers, and is providing economic opportunities, trade, travel, and new educational possibilities. The combined GDP of all 10 ASEAN countries comes to a total of $2.4 trillion, which means the ASEAN entity ranks amongst the world's major economic powers. The future is here. Welcome to ASEAN, the community of opportunities. The Southeast Asia region is now becoming one.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. The Ministry of Finance has made partnership agreements with several organizations to support economic development of ASEAN countries. Finance Minister Apisak Tantiwarawong presided over the signing ceremony of partnership agreement between the Ministry of Finance, the neighboring countries' Economic Development Cooperation Agency, or NEDA, and the Asian Development Bank, or ADB, on economic development of neighboring countries. The agreement covers improvement in relation to transportation, energy, politics, the establishment of the special economic zones, public health, and education through cooperation, which included loan offerings, knowledge transfer, and capability enhancement projects. According to the Thai Finance Minister, the neighboring countries' economic development is important for the realization of the ASEAN community. He further added that the lowering of corporate income tax rate to 20% was a measure aimed at attracting more investors to Thailand, while the adjustment of vehicle excise tax would take effect from January 1st of 2016. Elsewhere around the world, the Pentagon said on Thursday it was confident that U.S. allies would offer a significant troop contribution to Afghanistan in the coming years, after the United States upended plans to withdraw its forces from the country. Earlier in the day, U.S. President Barack Obama announced that he will prolong the 14-year-old U.S. military engagement in Afghanistan, effectively handing off the task of pulling out troops to his successor. At the top of the Pentagon briefing, Secretary of Defense Ash Carter made a brief statement in support of the president's decision, saying it honored the sacrifice of U.S. troops and gave them the chance to finish what they started. Carter was among those by Obama's side as he said the U.S. would maintain a force of 9,800 through most of 2016. Spanish and French police have arrested the two leaders of the militant Basque separatist ETA, dealing a blow to a group that has not killed for more than 5 years. ETA, whose aim is to establish an independent Basque homeland in northern Spain and southern France, announced an indefinite halt to its campaign of violence in 2011, but has resisted demands to turn in arms and disband. Over the years, the group killed over 800 people, according to the Spanish government. 43-year-old Ireta Sorsbal and 40-year-old David Pla were arrested in a country house in the small northern French town on the border. Both have spent time in jail and were both in hiding. Japanese Foreign Minister Fumio Kishida and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met in Moscow to boost relations between the two countries. Lavrov expressed hope that the meeting will help overcome disagreements between Russia and Japan. Russia and Japan are in territorial agreement about the Kuril Islands, which Soviet Union seized in the last days of World War II. The dispute has kept the two countries from signing a formal peace treaty since. Kishida's visit could lay the groundwork for a visit to Japan this year by Russian President Vladimir Putin for talks with Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, as discussed by the leaders late last year. South Korea's President Park Geun-hye said it would benefit businesses in both South Korea and the United States if the country were to join the 12-nation Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement. Speaking ahead of a meeting in Washington with President Barack Obama on Friday, Park said South Korea and the United States must work together to expand free trade to bring about global economic rebound. After a meeting with U.S. Vice President Joe Biden, Park met with American and South Korean business leaders at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, where she praised the newly agreed Trans-Pacific Partnership and called for a further expansion of free trade agreements. South Korea was not part of the TPP deal, which was brokered after marathon talks between the U.S. and 11 Pacific Rim nations. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook. Just simply type in NNT or check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. We are going to say goodbye with footage of Korean Ken Makut Market in Thailand, where a large collection of beautiful flowers can be found. I'm Tra Thirakosan. สวัสดีค่ะ